In today's live stream video, we're going to discuss my guest's reselling businesses, including how to sell vintage clothes and more. We'll share their tips and strategies to help make us more successful and profitable resellers. Every Wednesday, I have a live stream, and I usually interview another reseller and have them share their tips, tricks, and techniques to help make us more knowledgeable and profitable resellers. If you're interested in reselling, then you are in the right place. I'm going to pop in a chat to say hello to a few people, and we shall get started very shortly. I saw that Mike Flippin' Goodies was here. Glenn said hello. Swamp Picker said hello before the show even started. Glenn, I hope you can pop in and watch the replay. Randy, thank you for being here. Our guest, Crystal, was in the chat. Lisa C. Greg, I was thinking about you the other day. Glad you could pop in and say hello and hang out with myself and my guests. Okay, so let me bring my guests on. I'll have them introduce themselves. So those of you that read the thumbnail on the Instagram post, et cetera, et cetera. Now my guests are Crystal and Angel, and Crystal's channel is Rosie's Closet. So let me bring them on and have them introduce themselves. Hello.
Hello. Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? My name is Crystal, and this is Angel. Our YouTube channel is Rosie's Closet. But if you want to find us on social media or on any of our reselling platforms, I'm Rosie's Closet, and he is the Lowlife LV for Las Vegas. We're both resellers. We have separate stores, but we sell on a bunch of different platforms. He's a reseller newbie, and I've been doing it since I was a little girl, I guess. So for a long time.
Crystal, how long have you been doing it? I guess you're basically doing it full time, and I know you said you had other jobs. You and I have known each other for quite some time, but you had like full time jobs, and then you decided to start do reselling full time.
Yeah, pretty much. So I do like part time for myself and part time for Vicky. So right. I guess that's a full time.
Yeah, well, yeah. But when you start,
that's full time.
That's full time.
Yeah, plus being a wife and a mother and
that's a separate full time job. So I've got two full time jobs.
Right. And then you have you have a fur baby.
Yes.
So guys, if you see any fur baby, what's your fur baby's name again?
Mr. Sniffers.
Mr. Sniffers. So if you guys see Mr. Sniffers, just wave at him, and he'll be happy that you waved at him.
He's around here somewhere.
Okay.
He's sleeping.
He's sleeping. That's a good thing. Okay, guys. So we're going to get a little bit into how Crystal and Angel run their businesses and what kind of things they sell. So, Crystal, what platforms are you currently selling on, and why are you on those various platforms?
I sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and I just started on Grailed. I was selling before on Thrilling, but they just sent out a notice, was it yesterday or day before yesterday, that Thrilling is closing down. So we're no longer going to be listing on there. But the other platforms, I basically started on Poshmark. A friend of mine had told me about Poshmark and how he was helping his wife sell on there. And he told me about the bins. Like, I didn't know any of this. He had told me about the bins. And, told me he was buying everything there and flipping it on Poshmark. So I took what was left over of my grocery money for that month, went to the bins, and started the snowball from there. Oh, Mr. Sniffers. But, so anywhere where I can sell clothing basically is where I want to list and just have sort of an audience for my love of vintage. Mm-hmm. But any women's clothing, really.
You started on Poshmark, though. Just curious why you started on Poshmark.
Well, I had sort of dabbled in eBay before, just like as a hobby thing, selling one thing here, selling one thing there, and it was so complicated, and I hated the shipping. I couldn't figure it out. So I just hadn't sold anything on eBay in years and years. And then we were like at karate practice or something, and someone sitting next to me was like sharing their closet on Poshmark. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. And so he started telling me like how he was sharing his wife's closet on Poshmark. And so I was interested, and he just broke the whole thing down for me and said, this is what we do. And so that's why I started on there. Somebody told me about it.
Yeah, that's what's unusual. And I was watching another show, and we were talking about this reselling channel, and maybe we might pre-interview, get a little bit of feedback there. I don't know if you guys have the app open or whatever. But anyway, how friendly resellers typically are. They'll just come up to you and say, "Oh, this is what I do." You know, and they basically tell you what they're doing and how to do it. So it's very unusual in this type of business.
Yeah.
But it's you know, hey, that's great, and that's kind of why I do it. That's why I know why you do YouTube. Try to share and try to help the other resellers and share your journeys and basically document what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I love the reselling community. We're all friendly. We all help each other. And
Right.
it's not like, we're trying to compete against each other because there's so much out there. There's enough
Mm,
for everybody. So,
right.
might as well try and help each other along the way.
Now, Angel, you're basically a newbie. How long have you been reselling?
This month is my 6th month.
Your 6th
Actually,
month.
today, November 30th.
Oh, today. Okay. Well, happy anniversary.
Yeah, 6 months.
Happy anniversary.
I've been doing it. I enjoy it. A lot of people out there, like you said, a lot of people out there, they'll give you advice. They'll tell you, hey, do this, do that, or hey, check this out, check out that, or this and that. And it's been really, completely 100% different for me because I've always been in the how do you call it,
Corporate.
the corporate world, to where it's competition, and here it's like if I have a question on how to clean hats, or I got a question on how to get some stains out of a shirt, I can just, between her and I can just text somebody or email somebody or go on a chat.
Or message them on Instagram, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody's always willing to help.
You said caps. I mean, I know we'll get into a little bit that you're getting into caps a little bit more now. But Bobby, JT, and the Cap Guy is a tremendous resource, and Bobby is very generous with his time. He was doing a full-time, reselling show every Wednesday after mine with Angie, but they decided I guess Bobby wants to concentrate more on his grandkids and whatnot. So he does reselling full time. But if you have any questions about hats or cleaning hats or selling hats or the value of hats, like I said, I always talk about networking and helping each other. So you or Crystal can reach out to me, and I can put you in contact with Bobby, and I'm sure I'll be more than happy to help you guys.
Yeah, we have a really large reseller group here in Las Vegas.
That's what you're saying.
So
yeah.
There's a lot of us that go thrifting together, that hang out together. And so we're always picking things up for each other. Like, oh, hey, I think, Sonny would really like this because he loves this sort of thing. And, oh, I think Danny would like this because she loves that. And so we're always picking things up for each other. And then we bounce things off each other too. Like, oh, I found this. What do you think of this? And so we have a really good group out here that helps each other. Or I could even text someone when I'm out shopping and hey, what do you think of this thing? Should I pick it up? And they'll let you know right on the spot.
Yeah, that's what's nice too. I mean, like I said, obviously you have the app if you want to use the eBay app, or you have Google Lens. But like I said, if you have other resellers that you can reach out to, that's a great resource to have.
Yeah, because everyone has a different niche, so it's kind of nice to have that, those different resources and who specializes in what. It helps a lot.
Right.
It's really strange because being from the competitive world of profitability, here it's more like, hey, what are you doing and how are you doing it? And they'll tell you, and they'll say, hey, this is the way I do it. This is, if it works for you, I hope it works. And everybody's just really, honestly, they just kind of, like with me, like being a newbie, I've learned from so many different people on just things that they do, coming from sourcing and pricing and selling and platforms and all that. I mean, I'm still learning, and I actually love it. I actually do love it a lot.
Oh, you'll never stop learning.
I was going to just say that Crystal said it probably more eloquently than I would, but you're constantly learning every day, and
yeah,
everyone that watches
trends are always changing. Platforms are always changing.
Like
The
you
way
said,
you source is always changing.
shipping
So,
is changing, pricing is changing, costs
oh
are
yeah.
changing, popularity of things is constantly changing.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Now, Angel, you told me when I tell you guys I always do a pre-interview, and Angel told me that he's always had that entrepreneurial spirit. Why don't you tell little people about that? I guess that's kind of how you transitioned into reselling, and why did you transition to reselling? You told me you had a exterminating business on the side. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I come from an entrepreneur type of background, and my grandfather had a furniture store. And then what he would do is he would close Saturdays and Sundays, and then we would go to the swap meet, and we would sell furniture at the swap meet. And he did very, very well. And I helped him. He hired me. I was underage. I was under 16 years old at the time. You couldn't get a legal job till you were 16.
Right.
And I would help him, and he would pay me. And then at the time spending with him, he would just give me this knowledge about business and about, you got to have your own business. You have to be your own boss. You have to have, if you have a regular job that's really good, you always have to have something on the side. And I've lived my life that way until now.
Mm.
And it's been awesome. I mean, I've had I don't know if you guys understand lumper service. This is where we would go into distribution centers, and I would have a crew of guys that would unload your truck as you come in from the East Coast or wherever, and we would unload your truck. And I had a lumper service, and we made a lot of money. My guys were, I'm not gonna discredit them.
Oh
or
no,
anything like,
you don't talk about you, yeah, but
they weren't, high school graduates, but they were workers.
Right.
And they were making $1,000 a week back in the 90s. I mean,
That's good money back then. Absolutely, yeah.
It's a lot of great money, and I've always been successful. Every time I've done anything, I've done very well. And then when I started with the pest control business, I grew and I grew and I grew, and then it just got to the point where I can't work 70, 80 hours a week, 7 days a week. And then she turned me on into this reselling thing,
What
for
is
me
this
it was
reselling
like,
thing?
well, it was sort of, he was spending so much time at his full-time job plus his side business.
Side hustle, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was working, 70 hours, 70, 80 hours a week, like he's saying, 7 days a week. And there was just no time for anything else.
nothing.
Like,
Right.
no. He would come home, sometimes not even eat dinner, or just take a shower, go to bed. And something needed to change because he was spending no time with family. He was just exhausted all the time. And so, I told him, like, well, you can make the same amount of money reselling and we can do it together. And then that's where we are
All
now.
I heard was,
History.
you can make money reselling. And I was like, well, what kind of money can I make?
Right.
And she was like, well, what do you want to make?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, your brain's crazy, and you go for the gold all the time. And I said, okay, well, I want to make $1,000 a month. She's like, you
Done.
can do that.
Right.
Easy. Yeah.
And I was like, really? I'm like, okay, you caught my interest. And that's where I started. I started talking to, I started meeting her world of people.
Right. Her network of
business.
reselling friends. Yep.
And they started helping me out. They started giving me a bunch of advice, and they started telling me, hey, you should try this, or you should do this. And it's been nothing but positive. And it's been nothing but freaking fun, because these people are as crazy as I am.
Well, I've seen some of your videos and some of your posts on your social media.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I mean, even the thumbnail, how you guys got all dressed up for the Buttstar remix. And guys, we will talk about that later. So hang in there. We're going to talk about the Buttstar remix a little bit later. But
Okay.
yeah, but you guys are having fun. And like I said, you're working together, but you still have that side hustle. So it kind of fills your entrepreneurial spirit, and you're making that money, but you're getting to spend time with your family. And you're not.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, we've been communicating so much more now about commonalities.
Right.
of the reselling issue, to where I couldn't communicate with her commonality with pest control, because she knows nothing about pest
Sure.
control,
Sure.
And you knew nothing about reselling.
and
So
I knew
it's
nothing
like,
about reselling.
we'd
So
come together and
because I had
have
dreams,
nothing to
I had,
talk about.
I had dreams. I wanted to, I wanted to be $1 million pest control company,
Mm-hmm.
and I did very well. But at the end of it, we decided to sell it, and I decided to sell it and then say, well, let me get into this reselling thing.
Right.
And the way my brain works is I'm go, 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 go. So I'm go, 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 go,
Yeah,
pretty
you already had
much.
the work ethic, so that was built in. I mean, that was the
Oh yeah.
you have the
Full
work
steam
ethic, you
ahead.
have the intelligence, and you have So like I said, it was like a win-win. Like I said, because you get to spend time with your family.
Yeah.
You get to buy, because that's the other thing too. I mean, I don't want to get into too much personal stuff, between us, you and I don't want to share personal things, but one of my relationships, I was having problems at my job, and I would say to my significant other or whatever at the time, and I would say, I would ask for help, and they would just say, I work harder. I work harder? how's that going to help me work harder?
Right.
But anyway, so it's great that you guys have something similar you're doing, and Crystal can reach out to you and say, why don't you try this, or why don't you do this? And like you said, you're networking with the other resellers in your group,
Mm-hmm.
and you're learning from them as well. So, and you started out with basically vintage t-shirts. Am I correct about that?
With me, yeah, I wanted to do what I know, and I'm a musician, so I like band tees, and I'm also I like motorcycles, so I got into the Harley stuff, I got into the band stuff, I got into other stuff. But now that I see the way because what I also did is I watched a lot of YouTube videos of other resellers
Sure.
on how they're doing stuff, and I just kind of take from here, from there, from there, from there, from there. And I said, okay, let me take that and let me incorporate that, and let me see how it works for me. Well, from when I began to today, which is pretty much 6 months, I've changed a lot of things, and it's been for the better. And it's not because I'm smart or because I'm smarter. It's just because of all these people that share all this information out there to tell you and show you how to resell and how to source and things like that. And I really love it. I mean, I bounce so much stuff off of her. I mean, there's times where we're at the bins and we'll throw stuff at each other because we're like,
Yeah.
hey, I think this is your store.
There you go.
And she'll throw stuff at
Yeah,
me
we
like,
do.
I think this is your store. I think this will
And then
work
it
in your
becomes
store.
funny because we're literally like
Yeah.
throwing things at each
People are
other.
like tripping out on us,
Right.
like, what the hell's going on with these two people?
Sonny was laughing like, you guys are crazy.
Well,
But no, I mean, honestly, all of my knowledge, a lot of it's from her. But then, I have to sit there and go, I give kudos to a lot of other resellers that sit there and kind of give you information, kind of like what you're doing now, with the experiences of like
Right.
saying, how did you come up? And, it's just, I'm one of those where I'm not going to listen to one person or 5 people. I'm just going to take my little picks from this person, my little pick from this person, my little pick from that person, and then incorporate it into how I need to do or what I want to do for me. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I regroup and then I go from there.
I think this must be an inside joke from Greg. He says, no brooches in Angel's store.
What's that?
You won't find
Greg,
brooches in my
no
store either,
brooches.
Greg.
Yeah,
What
no
was that?
glass, no brooches.
I guess you guys were probably discussing that at the reseller remix. He says, no brooches in Angel's store.
No.
Is that Greg?
Yeah.
Yes, it is Greg. Yep.
What's up, Greg? We love you, buddy.
Okay, so like I said, it's great you're buying and you can bounce things off. That's the thing too. When you're first starting out reselling, YouTube's a great resource, but there's always questions you have about shipping. And like Crystal said, she had problems with shipping and different things, so she went on Poshmark and made it easier for her. But I mean, if you have questions, you can reach out to Crystal and say, how would you ship this? What would you do with this? How would you price this? Where can I get information as far as the value of this? So you can reach out to Crystal, and she's an excellent source.
When I first started, I and I hate I'm sorry to say this for all the experienced resellers, but when I first started, I was buying and buying and buying and buying and buying, and then I would go out and overpay for, I was sourcing, but I was overpaying,
That
and
happens.
then I'm doing the $15, I'm doing the $18, I'm doing the $20, and then when I got my first sale, the one thing that shocked me was like, what the hell is this? And she's like, well, there's fees. And I'm like, what do you mean there's
Jeez.
fees? And I'm like, and why are they so high? You know what I mean?
Break everything down.
And I'm
It's
like,
all right, you'll learn as we go.
so, honestly, it's been a great experience. Let me tell you, it's been a great experience. But what it's taught me is that I'm sourcing differently, I'm sourcing smarter, and I'm buying smarter, because I know that I have to pay fees. And some of those fees are a little bit ridiculous, I think, personally. Especially on certain platforms where, if you're using a Grail shipping label, you got to pay not just for the label, but you got to pay for the PayPal fee to pay for that. And I'm like, yeah, sure, it's $1.27 or $1.50 or whatever. But if you're selling 100 products, that's money. That's money that you just lost, to where you have to figure something else out. And we figured out, with me, I don't know if she does it, but I do pirate ship.
I use pirate ship as well.
Yeah, I go
Now,
pirate ship.
if you're a top rated plus seller, sometimes you benefit from using eBay or some of the other companies. I personally use pirate ship. I compare it. I mean, but I'm not doing the huge volume. Like I always talk about Randy in my chat. Randy has separate contracts with all these various shipping companies, but that's Randy. That's not Adam. That's not Angel. That's not Crystal.
Right. Everyone has to do
my
it a different way.
My mentality is minimize expenses, maximize profits. That's just the way I've always lived, business wise.
The other thing I always point out, and I'm trying to grow this channel, to some newer resellers too as well. You got to remember, you're also paying fees on shipping.
Yes.
You've been doing this for a while, but I'm sure Crystal has told you, back in the day, people would put things on eBay and they would say, okay, it's $2 and then $15 shipping. It's like it would maybe cost them $3 to ship it.
Yeah.
But they weren't paying fees on the shipping. So eBay says, whoa, we're not foolish. We're going to charge you a final value fee on the total amount. So the reason I bring that up too is for the newer sellers is if you offer free shipping, or even like you said, wow, what are all these fees? Keep in mind, if you're selling something, you're paying fees on the shipping as well.
Yes.
And then with eBay, they want you to do promoted listings. So that's a minimum of 2%. You don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But that's a minimum of 2%. So in reality, you're paying at least 15% on average fees if you're selling on the eBay platform.
The way I if I would have to, and like I said, I'm kind of experienced. I'm learning still.
Sure.
I'm learning a lot.
You learn every day.
But as far as like, if there's new resellers out there, don't think that just because you bought it for 10, you're going to sell it for 20 and you're going to make $10. That's not going to happen.
Exactly.
You're going to make $5, maybe even $4, just because of the way the system is set up on reselling. But what I would tell you 100% is what you put into your sourcing, what you put into your listings, what you put into how you display your listings. Pictures are the most important. Descriptions, measurements, everything like that. If you put in the time, I believe, and this is me, I've put in so much time, so much energy, so much effort into growing. I have a goal of what I want this to be, but for right now, the energy you put in, you're going to get it back. So if you're just one of those where you're buying one shirt here, two shirts here, and you're trying to list and you think you're going to make a lot of money, it's not going to happen. And it's not when nobody's going to become a millionaire. Nobody's going to become, financially wealthy to where they can just, forget everything. No, what you put in is what you get out. Right. It's always been that way in business. What you do you reap the rewards of your hard work. And it's not easy, but it is fun. And the rewards are even better. And then the community is even better. That's what pushes you to even do more.
Keeps you motivated.
Yeah, keeps you
Absolutely.
motivated. Because you hear the same stories like, oh, I got this return and I got, that's what's so
I'm that same
amazing
way.
about
You
the
can't let it bring you down.
Nope.
It's like
No.
you get a return. It happens to everybody. It's the cost of doing business. It stinks, and everyone gets upset about it. But that's the fact of life. It's
just
it's
keep
going to
rocking
happen.
and rolling.
Just keep on moving. Just keep
rolling.
on. Exactly.
Yep.
Just keep dodging and bobbing and weaving, so to speak. It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cost of doing business. The other thing I want to bring up too, and I tell you guys, I always get off a little bit of tangent, but this is kind of on tangent. You were talking about your I guess basically net profit, but you coming from that entrepreneurial spirit and knowing that you've had businesses, you got to realize too, there's net profit, but again, that's taxable income also.
Yes.
So there's taxes involved. So you might net $5, but then you got to pay taxes. So I'm just going to throw 20% out there to make it easy. So that's an additional $1 that comes off of that.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, I might have been misunderstood this, but I thought it was the reporting was this past year, but now they're saying the $600 threshold is this year. So
This year.
regardless, if you make $1, you make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, you're supposed to pay taxes on your net proceeds. So it's $600 and for 2023. So that pretty much should include just about everyone that sells, somewhat on what these platforms. I mean,
No, it's for this year's
actually it's taxes.
taxes.
It's taxes for 2022.
Right. That's
So,
what I had thought, but they were saying eBay is saying it's for 2023, but I always thought it was for 2022 it started. So
No, it's for
No.
2022.
2022, correct? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I believe what you're thinking about is Zelle, Venmo, all these third party Square, all these third party payment services that they have out there. If you get any money through that or any financials through that, anything over 600, they are reporting to the IRS.
Yeah, see, I thought that was for 2022. Okay.
And the same thing with the reselling platform.
Yeah, that's
Right.
this year. It's already.
Yeah, it's this
That's what I
year.
thought it was for 2022. That's what I
And
thought.
that's what I say. I think that you're going to see the reselling community change
It'll be a little bit
this
shaken
year,
out. Yeah. Mhm.
this tax year that comes,
Sure.
because a lot of them didn't save for that money.
Exactly.
A lot of them thought, oh, it's free money. It's I'm making this, I'm making that. The whatnotters and the
Right.
all that other stuff. I just think financially, a lot of these people didn't think that they needed to save for taxes. I'm always telling her, put your taxes away. Put some money, put minimum 20%.
Right.
I like to go 30%, but that's what that's
Right.
just the way I do it. Because I'd rather have an extra, I pay my tax bill and then have an extra couple $100 or $1,000 after that and say, oh, well, I didn't have to pay 5,000. I only had to pay 3,000. So, you know what I mean? I'm a numbers guy. So
I understand. Yeah, that's good.
the way I work.
Keep it in mind. So I'd say like probably 99% of the people that watch my show sell on eBay as well as other platforms. So I always kind of like I tell you, I like to share what other people do. And like you had said earlier, Angel, maybe you'll get something from other resellers. If you can use it, use it. If not, that's fine too. But I like bouncing things off. So I wanted to run by you, Crystal, how you run your eBay business. And then I know, Angel, you're kind of new at it, but I guess you're kind of incorporating some things that Crystal does as well. So why don't you tell us a little bit about, do you run sales? Do you run offers to watchers? Do you do promoted listings? Why don't you tell a little bit about your reselling business?
Profits, not projects.
I know. I do all of those things actually.
Okay.
So I run like flat rate shipping. So on anything that's under a pound is $5. If it's over a pound and fits in a padded flat rate, then I charge the padded flat rate. If it's over, well, if it doesn't fit in a padded flat rate, then I charge the large fee, which is $10.50. But I do all flat rate shipping. I ship international. I run sales. I always have a sale going on pretty much, well, on eBay and on Poshmark. I always have a sale going. I do promoted listings on eBay, but only a few, like really high dollar items.
Okay.
I don't mess around with promoted listings on other things, because pretty much everything that I sell is a one-off item. So it's not really like I'm competing against a lot of other people to sell my item. So I don't feel that promoted listings are necessary. But what else do I do?
I kind of
Have you
disagree
tried?
with I kind of disagree with the promoting. I have some high sale items on my store, and I like the promoting listing because I'll pay the extra 11% or whatever they're asking for, because what they're doing is they're putting me out there, because nobody's gonna see my shirt or what I'm selling unless I have help. And I like the 11% or 12%, whatever they're asking for. I like it because I've experimented on different computers, especially like at work, and I'll pull up eBay and I'll put in one word out of my listing. Like, let's say I have a Scarface shirt or something, and it's got 5 different words on it, but I'll just put Scarface. All of a sudden eBay will come up, and then boom, I see my shirt. I'm going, that's exactly what I want. I don't mind.
Because you promoted it.
Yeah, I promoted it.
That's a high 12% though.
Well, 11%, whatever it is. I mean, it varies anywhere between.
Are you using the suggested rate? Is that what you're saying, like 11 to 12%?
Oh, well, I researched the rates, and it depends on how much exposure you want. So basically, like it's anything. If you want me to market for you, like let's say you have a store and you want me to market. Well, if you're going to pay me $1,000, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put flyers out. But if you're going to pay me $5,000, then I'm going to get a commercial going, and I'm going to make all kinds of other stuff. I'm going to promote you more and more and more based on the money. And that concept I understand, because I come from marketing.
Right.
So I like the promoting. I don't mind paying the extra as long as it sells. That's the whole thing, because you're just putting me out there. And what I also like is my name is out there. The Low Life LV is out there, and somebody just happens to see it and they click on it. They're going to see the Low Life LV, and maybe that's another opportunity for them to click on my store to say, hey, let's see what else he has. That's the part on the marketing strategy of my mind. That's what I like. Right. So 11% more. I like that. I like that concept. It's free. Technically, it's free marketing that's only going to cost me on a $200 shirt. It's going to cost me 11%, and it continues until the shirt sells. I like that. That's cheap.
No, that's interesting.
Everyone's different.
You have to understand marketing to understand that concept.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, it's great marketing, especially if they go to your store and see other stuff that you have.
It's kind of like the free shipping concept. I mean, that's the 64,000 free shipping. No. A lot of people say, "Oh, you got to do it." I'll talk about shipping occasionally, and prices of shipping going up, yada yada yada. And I was talking about shipping, and my shipping policies are all screwed up. And Mike Flipping Goodies was there, and I'm trying to adjust those or whatever. But and I would say, well, I'm going to ship here and this, that, and the other. He goes, well, why don't you ship here? And then Lisa or somebody will come in and say, well, you should ship here. And it's like, why don't you ship to Alaska? And why aren't you shipping to Hawaii? And why you're shipping to Puerto Rico and Guam? It's like, you're right, especially on something like a pad of flat rate envelope priority. It's the same price to go there anyway. But I mean,
the other strategy too with that promoting on eBay. I don't know if I know Grail does it. I think there's other platforms to do it. But here's the thing: if you sell we'll just use an example. Let's say you sell a lot of Harley shirts. Okay. And you have your most expensive Harley shirt on your platform on eBay, and you promote it. It's completely 100% free marketing. Like I said, they're going to click on your store, and even though it sells, okay, you're going to have more clicks, and they're going to go to your store, and they're going to see cheaper Harley Davidson shirts, and they're going to sit there and go, oh, well, I don't want to pay $200 for this particular shirt, but I do like this $50 shirt he has. You know what I mean? It's all about marketing, right. Getting your store exposed to however many people you can get out there. And for 11% or 10% or 8%, whatever they decide on, I'll pay that all day long, because you only pay it once when the item sells. Until then, all that marketing that you're getting for free, you're getting it for free.
I see where you're coming with this, and I was in the, I tell people all the time, I was in the wine and liquor business for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
And you know, you're constantly promoting. So what you're saying is, as opposed to paying for like you know, Google ads or Facebook ads,
exactly.
Or, you know, eBay is promoting your product, and then you pay that fee when it sells, but you're not paying that, you know, $3 or, you know, the you know, click on rate per every time somebody clicks on it, even if it doesn't sell, you're only paying that if it sells. So, I mean, everyone has different philosophies, and I definitely understand where you're coming from with that.
That's interesting. Hi, Glenn. Hi, Todd.
There's Mr. Todd in the house, the flipping hustler. Good to see you, Todd. Okay, so I'm going to just touch a little bit again, Angel. How do you were talking about promoter listings? Are you kind of doing some things similar to the way Crystal does? You run sales, and Crystal, I want to ask you too. Have you gotten involved with using coupons at all on eBay? Have you gotten involved at all in that?
No, not really. I tried newsletters just recently, so I tried that. It didn't really do anything that I noticed, but I haven't done the coupons yet, so I might try that and see.
You know, the holidays coming, it might be an opportunity.
Yeah, I might try that.
Do you have a lot of repeat buyers?
No, not really. No. I used to on Poshmark.
On Poshmark, okay.
When I first started on Poshmark, it was been like 4 or 5 years ago now, I think, on Poshmark. I was doing shopping for specific people. So I had like a group of ladies that I had cards for them that had like their sizes, their styles, like specific things that they liked, and they would come and shop with me every single week, and I would purchase items for them at the thrift, like specific items for them at the thrift store. And then you know, they would build bundles, and they were buying them every week. But Poshmark has really changed, and I don't really have a lot of repeat buyers anymore. Not on Poshmark, and not really on eBay either.
Okay, so just out of curiosity, how did Poshmark change things that you're not getting those repeat buyers?
I don't know. I'm not really sure what happened. It used to be just women's clothing, so maybe now, because they sell everything,
I got you.
The platform is just constantly changing, and it used to be my main platform, but that has really changed too. I really don't sell a lot on Poshmark anymore like I used to.
Okay.
And I'm still doing the same thing I was doing back then, listing, and I cross post.
And you're sharing, and you're doing the whole 9 yards.
Oh yeah, the same things I was doing before, and sales are not so great over there.
Down on Poshmark. Okay.
Yeah.
Angel, are you doing things similar to how Crystal does things on your? I know you said you do a higher percentage on the promoted listings. What other things are you doing with eBay? Do you run sales? Do you send offers to watchers? How do you do that?
Well, you know, being new, I did do the 20% thing on eBay, and I believe I did something on Grailed.
Okay.
You did a Poshmark sale too.
I did a Poshmark sale. The thing that I see though is that once you lower your price, especially on eBay, people still come back and want it lower. And you know, I understand that concept. Like I get it. Like my biggest thing right now is Grailed. Grailed.
Okay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Grailed?
Grailed is if you put your, you know, we're just going to use block numbers. If you put your product out for $50 and you accept offers, and the guy comes back and says, "Hey, I'll take $50. I'm offering you $50, but I live in Australia." So basically, he's willing to pay you the $50, but he wants you to pay shipping for free, because in Grailed you have to pay shipping if you accept an offer. Well, I'm not going to ship a shirt for $25 to Australia.
Now you said that you're using Pirate Ship, so do you use a simple export rate through Pirate Ship? Is that you ship internationally?
Right, but
it's $25.
I guess what I'm getting at is that there's a lot of buyers out there that know how to manipulate,
kind of work the system. Yeah.
And I don't play that kind of game. I was like, look, dude, if I had this guy today. He was like, hey, I had the shirt at 25. He's like, I'll pay the 25, but you got to pay shipping. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying shipping. You know, if you want it for, you know, it's one
You
of
want
those
to pay
cat and mouse
$22
games.
and then you pay for shipping. I'll give you $3-4 off. Yeah.
You know, it would have ended up being like the total discount with shipping and everything would have been like $15. And I'm like, no, dude.
On a
I'm like,
$25 shirt. Yeah, that's crazy.
on a $25 shirt. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You got to be smart. You got to understand the numbers, and you have to understand, you know, where people are coming from. You know, one of the big things I hate, you know, right now is like the eBay with that 4-day, you know, to pay. I think that's ridiculous. I mean, if you said I want to buy it, then you've committed. And then what's the other one? The 3-hour
Been
one
fighting
for
that for years, and they keep saying it's coming, it's coming.
What's-
Yeah, they
what-
keep saying it. Then I mentioned in my last show, and they said, "Well, it's to select buyers, not sellers." It's like, well,
what's
like
what's
all
the
sellers?
3-hour one? Is that Poshmark?
That's Poshmark.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how
If you buy something on Poshmark, you get 3 hours to decide whether
To
you
change your mind.
to change your mind.
Oh, if you want to cancel or not? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you know what? In 3 hours, I can have your stuff at the post office already, getting your stuff, you know, shipped quickly.
It's Joe and Nicole.
And it's kind of, you know, I think things need to kind of, if you commit, you commit. Like when you go into a dealership and you buy a car, I mean, you're buying.
You got to bring that bit experience up.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
I just don't understand. You know, I think these platforms need to be more pro seller versus pro buyer, because she's been
the big complaint
scammed.
about eBay. You know,
She's been scammed so many times off of buyers that they'll buy something off of her and then claim that it wasn't, or something was wrong with it, and then we get a whole different product back, or we'll get the product back missing parts, or we'll get the product back damaged, like they did something to it and then all of a sudden it didn't work. And it's like, no, you know, when we have, like, especially with me, with on my higher dollar items, I take pictures, so that if they try to send me an old shirt or they try to send me an old product, I'm like, no, that's not the same product that I sent out.
I know. I don't even know how to do this. I know back in the day when there was a lot of that still goes on, but people would put like special marking, like the not double ink, like the black light ink, and they would mark it somewhere and take a picture of it. It's like, okay, well, I have it marked. Let me see that picture. You know, let me see the back of your t-shirt. I want to see what I made a special marking on. Sometimes people just bluff. They say, I put a special mark on that shirt. I want to make sure that you know, they back off. But
yeah, a while ago, I had sold an embroidery machine. This was a nightmare. An embroidery machine.
I think we paid like $3,000
on eBay. Wow. And so I sold it on eBay, shipped it out. The buyer decided to remove the engine or the mechanism or whatever to make it go. I guess it's an engine, right? Out of the embroidery machine, and then say it didn't work and sent it back. And of course, this was several years ago when we were still dealing with PayPal.
Sure.
And so I had to fight PayPal. I had to fight eBay because the buyer was saying, oh, well, I shipped it back. It didn't work. I took it to my machine repair guy and told them, you know, hey, you guys just did the repair before I sent it out. Can you give me a paper, whatever, something saying it was in working order when I shipped it, how much it's going to cost to repair it. I had to go through this whole thing with PayPal, and they ended up they still sided with the buyer.
Yeah. Did they really? Wow.
They did. They still sided with the buyer. The buyer had to pay, it was like $100 or something to me for a repair. And that was it. But it was like a $3,000 machine.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Michelle, I had a question for you too. Have you sold on Poshmark Live yet?
So Poshmark Live is only for people that attended Poshmark. What is it? Poshfest?
Poshfest.
Yeah. So if you attended Poshfest, then you can sell on Poshmark Live. It's not open to everyone yet, so we don't even have the opportunity to do that. But we are selling on Whatnot, but we haven't tried on Poshmark yet. As soon as it opens up to everyone, though, I'm sure we will.
For me personally, my demographic of what I sell, I probably want to do Poshmark. it's not my thing. For
Right.
her, probably, yeah, because she sells a lot of vintage women's stuff.
Finish,
But for
sure.
me, no. I'm selective of what all of my platforms are demographically allocated to what I will post on there.
Well, we kind of went through like with the platforms you're selling on and how you run like your eBay stores. Angel, I guess we'll go with you first. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it? And obviously, I always tell people, you guys are sourcing in the Las Vegas area. Other people are sourcing in Florida or up north or whatever. But what are some of the things you find on a regular basis that you like? You said you're doing a lot of concert T-shirts. What are some of the things you're looking for that maybe we may find at our thrift stores or yard sales, etc., that we should be on the lookout for? The Bolo brands.
Out here, it's a variety. Of course, we get a lot of Vegas stuff, and I've noticed that I bought a lot of Vegas stuff in the beginning, thinking like, okay, I'm selling to the whole world, or the United States, and then if international with Grail and stuff like that. It doesn't really sell. It's one of those when you're here, you buy it.
More of like an impulse item.
Yeah, kind of like an impulse. Oh man, check it out, But one of the things that even like Vegas Golden Knights, they're hot. They're doing great. Raiders, well, whatever, but it doesn't.
What's is it? The Aces? What's the basketball?
Oh yeah,
team?
yeah, the Aces.
They've been doing well. Yeah.
It just for me on my platform. Well, like I said, I have demographics for each platform, but just the local stuff for us doesn't sell. What does seem to work for me?
It's loud over there.
That's
They're gaming next door.
Okay.
What sells for me is I like a lot of Hawaiian stuff.
Okay.
I like a lot of
any particular brands that you buy or brands that we should avoid?
Brands, probably not. Like I said, demographics for each platform. Like my Depop is more trendy, more, I do a lot of 420 stuff for my Depop. I do a lot of more hip stuff, more funny stuff, more kind of like PG-13 to R-rated type of shirts, for my Depop crowd, because that's what they like. They're all,
But you're familiar with that. I would have no idea what to look for in that.
Yeah, young streetwear kind of stuff.
Okay.
My Macari's, my Etsy. I just got on Etsy. I'm throwing all of my vintage, anything that's over 20 years old. I'm throwing on Etsy right now. I did have a sale finally. It's only took like 2 weeks, but I don't have a lot of stuff on there.
Right.
But it's just picking your demographic, picking on eBay is just open forum. It's just everything. I mean, you can sell
everything out there.
Yeah, everything. But it just I'm just trying to be smart.
You're trying to niche down on the various platforms. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go to my Depop, you would think I'm 18 years old.
Well, hey, if you understand it, yeah.
You go to Etsy, you would think I was
75,
60 years old. You know what I mean? It just depends.
Well, that's great. Yeah.
But the reason why I do that is because I know, at least I'm trying to understand where my demographic is, so that when they come out with questions like, "Hey, bro, I'll only pay you 20, bro,"
right?
I can communicate with that way, with them. Like,
is that how you say it?
But it's not going to work.
Hey, bro.
Grail, yeah, Grail, same thing. Grail's a very young crowd, very.
Gotcha.
Bra,
right.
I found the exact same shirt for like $20 less, man. Well, go buy it then.
Go buy it somewhere else, brah.
Yeah.
But it's fun, it really is. And I'd like
you said, you can't take it personally. That's just the way that
exactly
is, and that's how that generation is. And
I've had good people to where they, they've commented back to me like, hey, I totally appreciate, I'll give them a discount, like say, hey, would you take this? And I'm like, absolutely, I appreciate you. Just check out my store, tell your friends, et cetera, share me on whatever platform you're on. And they like that. They're like, hey, appreciate you, blah, blah, blah. And that's what I'm about. I'm just trying to, like, you help me, I help you, it works. It works.
Well, that's kind of everybody that watches my show, I'm big about sayings, different things that's kind of under that category, under promise and over deliver.
Yes, absolutely.
People love that. I mean, it's like you'll say something. This T-shirt is in very good condition, and you get it. It's in excellent condition, and they come back. It's like, wow, it was fast shipping. It was in excellent condition. You said it was only very good condition, and then maybe they'll, like I said, hopefully they'll promote it or buy from you or tell their friends about like I said, if they're clickers, maybe they'll tell their friends about your store.
Analytically speaking, being that I'm so new, I'm at 2% of everything that I've sold. I'm at a 2% rebuy, which means where my customers have bought something else from me.
Repeat buyers, or you're at 2%.
Repeat buyers, yeah, that's
okay.
what's right. Repeat buyers.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm at 2%, which doesn't sound like a lot.
No, but hey, here's another saying for you. Rome wasn't built in a day.
And then they're probably telling their friends, and that's the whole thing. Is you tell, what's the old commercial? You tell one friend, I tell one friend. Remember that whole commercial where there's a bunch of people all of a sudden, in the whole screen?
Well, there's the rule of 10 also. If you upset one person, they're going to tell 10 people.
Yes, exactly.
But that's just the way it is. So, okay, so no brands in particular that you would come to mind as far as things that you find on a regular basis that kind of like just the pop in the mind that we should be on the lookout for. It's just like you're more into like the niches and the various sites.
You're asking me that?
No, Angel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Then I'll ask you.
I'm trying to read the chat. I have glasses, so I'm trying to read the chat.
Okay. Well, I popped some of the people's comments in there. Basically, people were saying how they had some issues with bad buyers, and sometimes they did well with. Some people go to eBay for business. That seems to help sometimes. That's
we've tried that a few times. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes eBay responds, sometimes they don't, and sometimes we will go to some higher ups because we have connections, and we'll ask like, hey, can you reach out to your eBay people and help us out, please?
We know where you're going with that.
But that doesn't always work either. So
doesn't always work, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so Crystal, any I mean, like I said, you're doing vintage, so it's probably a little. There may be some people that sell vintage in the chat. Any particular brands that you do, or is it more with you? Is more of a style or a look, or the brands that you look for?
So with me, vintage really the brand doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's all about style and keywords, because a lot of vintage is like Sears or like Macy's or whatever the department stores were back then. Also, in the 40s, the 50s, 60s. A lot of women made their clothes, so a lot of vintage is handmade. Brands don't matter. I look specifically for style, and then I make sure that I have the right keywords to sell that item.
Okay.
But I don't really have any like specific, like Bolo brands.
Well, I have to shout out my friend Beth Resell Rowboat at least once a show, and I know you've been in Best Chats before, and you'll have something in her show, and she'll say. Then you'll actually say how you would list it in the description, and you would say brands don't matter. It's how what it is, the item, and how you describe it.
Right, because
nobody's time and time again you would say that. Yeah.
Nobody's gonna type into eBay, like vintage Sears shirt.
Right.
It might be like a vintage pearl snap Western shirt or something like that, and it happens to be a Sears brand, but nobody's searching for Sears brand shirts.
Absolutely. Okay.
People buy.
Yeah,
people,
that's true, Greg.
People buy based on visual, and excuse me for what I'm trying to lead into is, you can search for a Green Bay Packers shirt, just as an example.
Right.
And you're going to have all these Green Bay Packers shirts come up, but there's going to be that one that's a little bit different, and that's the one that's going to grab the buyer and go, man, I like that. All these are the same, but this one's different. This one's a little bit unique. And that's the beautiful part about reselling, is that we're not in competition with each other because we all have different
opportunities. Yep.
We're not selling the same pair of glasses like this to everyone else. Everybody has a different style, a different shirt, I bought stuff from people that I never thought just because, oh my God, I've been looking for that shirt, or oh my God, I love that shirt. I buy, again, some people are impulse buyers, and that's what we sell. We sell impulse buying. It's, they might sit there and go, oh, I'm looking for a Van Halen shirt.
Right.
And in their mind, they're thinking Van Halen shirt, but then all of a sudden, a reseller will have this particular shirt that the buyer is sitting there going, I've never seen that shirt before. Oh my God, I'm interested.
Right.
And then they'll buy it, or they'll, make an offer on it. That's the difference between retail and resale.
Right.
Is that we are selling something that the retail.
Selling memories too, actually.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, I've sold I've had a lady, comment back when she received it. She was like, "You have no idea. My father wore this shirt." Oh, sorry. My father wore this shirt.
Yeah.
And
it makes you feel good. I mean, it makes you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm the same exact way, because
Yeah.
when I was in high school, I used to dress out of my grandfather's closet.
Oh,
He
really?
had like the
Okay.
most amazing vintage 70s clothing.
Okay.
And I loved it. And of course it wasn't in style back then, but I absolutely loved it. And so I still get that nostalgia now when I find something that reminds me of my grandfather, or like a shirt that he would have worn, or like, every day he would wear a Pendleton. So it was like, I have this love for Pendletons, but just anything that reminds me of my grandfather, it's like all 70s type stuff.
I believe reselling, honestly, I believe reselling is emotional buying.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
Yeah, it can be for a lot
And,
of reasons.
and that's why, if you're, well, like I said, I'm a newbie.
Especially when you're selling used goods too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use
Or vintage
keywords, especially if you, the way I believe is if you can't find it online, it's rare.
Yeah.
So you market it and you make it valuable. You make that buyer feel that this is valuable. This is worth something. So if you don't like my price, then you can go try to shop it, and they're not going to find anything like it. Your shirt, whatever you're selling, has just become more valuable.
True.
Because you're the only one that has it, and you can't find it anywhere else. So the price that you're putting out there, okay, if you want to pay the full price, then make an offer. If it's a decent offer and they accept, you're happy, and the seller's happy.
Right.
That's what I love about reselling. I'm not selling widgets.
You're selling memories. So
Yeah.
it's different. I want to remind you guys too. I typically forget to do this, so if you guys can do me a favor and hit that thumbs up before. I know some of you've been popping in and out of the chat, so if you hit that thumbs up. So again, it helps. Talking about selling memories, it helps promotes the channel. So if you guys can hit the thumbs
Darren
up,
Adams, you are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Whether it's your sports team, whether it's your old high school, whether it's your old college, whether it's the old pair of shoes you used to wear, or boots you used to wear, or whatever. That's he nailed it.
You went to a concert and all of a sudden you see the concert T-shirt from a concert you went to when you were 18 years old or whatever.
Yeah, or maybe something that you had in the past and it got destroyed or lost or whatever, and now you have adult money, so you like to buy stuff that
the dog gave it or whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I like that, Darren Adams.
Yeah, appreciate that. Okay, so while we're on that, I always try to throw this out there to my guests, and I guess we'll go with Angel first. I know you've only been doing this approximately 6 months. What was like the biggest flip you ever made? Like something could be dollars, could be percentage wise. Something you said, "Wow, I paid this," and it's like I sold it for this huge amount of money.
I think I paid $28 for a shirt, and I sold it for. It was an offer. I think I sold it for $179.
Okay, so you up paid for it. $28. What kind of shirt was it?
It was a 70s. I can't remember all the bands that were on it. It was a what do you call it, Raglan?
Raglan.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember what you're talking
about.
Yeah, it was like a band tee.
You know,
Okay.
when I first moved to Vegas, I used to get, the only time I gamble is if I go to a casino, I do blackjack on the table or at the bar,
Right.
and I do very well. But what reselling has taught me was this is unequivocally gambling, but you never lose your money. Honestly, because
You never lose your
that
money.
I've bought,
I guess I'm in the wrong business then.
everything that I have purchased,
You've
even
always
though
made
I
at least
may have
broke
sold
even.
it
Okay.
for $2, $3,
Okay.
$4,
Okay.
I've never lost money.
Okay.
I've even made money to where I was able to just get rid of my first purchase, my first couple months where I was buying stupid. I gave it to the rec center. I gave it away, and the people in the community were able to get it through the rec center. But what I love about it, to me in my mindset, it's like gambling. If I spend $5 for a shirt, I better make $20.
Right.
If I only make 15, that's fine because I'm still getting my $5 back, but I'm still making my money back.
Yes, they are, Greg.
What's that?
Reselling odds.
Reselling odds are better than the casino
Oh,
odds.
absolutely, absolutely, Greg. You know that, absolutely,
Absolutely.
and that's why I
Great
love
comment, Greg.
this business right now, because everything I put in, I know I'm getting at least minimum my money back,
Right.
at least. But then of course, I'm getting a lot back. When I sell.
As you're
Right.
learning, well, because
Yeah,
you've learned.
because
so
I'm
much
learning.
more, yeah.
We're sourcing smarter. We're buying smarter. We're buying different. I'm buying different.
Yeah, you say you're
Absolutely.
trying to increase your average selling price. You're trying to list less but sell at higher profit.
Oh yeah, when I first started, she was like, "You're
You were
selling
just
too
buying
low."
the $2, $3 things and just
Yeah,
getting
you're
it later
selling too
listed.
low.
Yeah.
And right now, I think my average gross, which is unimportant, it's all
Right.
about net.
Right.
But my net is, I think, it's 36, 38, somewhere on
That's
there.
great.
Your
My-
selling price.
my
Pushing right
net.
around 40%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Net.
my net gross is
Right.
between 36 to 38
Right.
per item.
So you see your net profit pre-tax basically.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mr.
Which I
Pat
put-
Dees is in the
Hey,
house,
who's
sir.
that?
Look at that.
Okay.
See you in the court at the
Pat.
grocery store. Who is that lady?
Hi, Pat.
Good to see you, Pat. Thanks for
Pat.
popping in.
Pat D's. That's my number 200 subscriber. So I
There
call
you
him
go.
number 200
Number
because he
200.
likes to remind me all the time that I am your 200 subscriber. So I always call him number 200.
Gotcha. All right, Crystal. What was your big flip? What was that comes to mind? Your best
Oh, I
biggest
don't
flip?
know if I really
I'm sure there's
have,
a lot
like,
of them, but what
I
comes to
guess
mind?
probably the more recent ones is
No, hold on.
what?
Hold on. I know.
You know.
Because before I got into reselling, she came to me. She's like, "Babe, you're not going to believe this. I paid $6 for this. We'll just call it a dress,
Mhm.
and I sold it for $264." And I'm like,
Nothing wrong with that.
"You're out of your mind." I'm just using an example.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, what dress
And
is
I
that?
said,
Oh,
"You're
it
out of
wasn't
your
okay.
mind.
I believed it.
There's no way that you spent $6 and made 200 or whatever it was. It made 200, and even at that time, it didn't snap in my head because I had my pest control business. It didn't snap in my head like,
Right.
this is great. This is awesome. I mean, really, you can take six. I mean, you know what?
$6 turn
$6
into
here in Vegas.
$260. Yeah.
You know what? We'll just say $6. Okay, let's say $6 here in Vegas. What kind of bet you would have to win to make that kind of money?
It always comes
You
back
have
to
to
the
have a
Vegas
high
casinos.
par parlay.
I just wish those type of sales, were like every day. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have like one specific sale that I can think of that was like, wow.
I'm
But
sure
I
once
mean,
you get when they get off the show, it's like, oh, what about they all pop in your head.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have purchased
Nice, Gary. Nice.
Greg.
Oh, Greg. Sorry, Greg. Gary.
You're getting Gary mixed up with
G, just call him G.
G.
What's up, G?
No, I mean, I have purchased like in bulk buys or at the bins.
Right.
I purchased a really large bulk buy from Wade, and I sold there were like 3 Burberry coats in there.
Wow.
So
Okay.
once I broke it all down, I think I paid like $4 an item, and I sold 2 of those Burberry coats for 400 and the third one
Wow.
for 300. So
Well,
those
that's
were
100 times
good.
your
Burberry
money.
is a good brand.
100
So
times
those
your
were
money.
good.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and then I found like a 1940s vintage, like all sequin dress. I actually sold it to a news station,
Wow.
and I sold that for like 500. I think I paid $8 for
That's
it.
a neat story too. That's something you always remember.
Yeah.
Have you sold to some of these like prop houses? Have anything, some of those things happen with you or no?
Um, Not really that I can think of.
Did you sell to Yellowstone?
No, that was Vicky.
Oh, it's Vicky
Vicky
did.
sold to Yellowstone, and
Well,
she just sold recently to the, what is it called? The Goldbergs. To the
Oh, the
Goldbergs.
Goldbergs.
Oh, the Goldbergs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're based out of this area. They're based out of Philadelphia area, allegedly. The
Yeah.
Goldbergs. Yeah.
No, not that I can think of. I'm sure that I
Okay.
have, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, that's the perfect segue. Like I said, I want to talk a little bit about, we talk sometimes about, hiring virtual assistants or you hiring other people. Now you're actually working for Vicky. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience with that and how that came about and your experience
Reading
doing
the
that?
chat.
What's that?
Just Pat and
Pat's all
Craig
addressed to
and
Craig. Only one and
Lance,
didn't
our
look.
kicker is Craig.
Yeah. Only one
You
didn't
think
ask.
kicker
He
is
didn't.
Greg.
He didn't ask for this.
But
Maybe
yeah,
he was reselling it, Pat.
they're just
I'm
go
sorry, I
through.
didn't interrupt you with the
No, it's fine.
frivolity.
It's
You know,
fine.
sometimes the chat. That's why I'm watching the chat, because like the chat
Yeah,
sometimes.
see, that's why I have notes. I tell you,
Kinda
I'm
like-
ADD. I get off. I'm watching the chat. I'm paying attention to you. It's like
throw you
I'm
off
going
a
off
little bit.
exactly. You go all these different
I
directions.
like that though. I mean, it keeps it interesting, right? It keeps it
Right,
fun.
right.
Oh, a leather mini skirt.
Oh damn!
Oh my gosh. These glasses are bugging my ears. So what happened with Vicky actually, so her and I sell a lot of the same type of things.
Right.
She does a lot more hard goods, but we sell, as far as clothing goes, we sell a lot of the same things. So I really, really wanted to learn from her. And so I sort of watched a lot of their videos. And then when she had posted something on Facebook saying that she was looking for an assistant or someone to help her with listings, I thought that that would be a great way to learn, basically. So I reached out to her, and that was that. She was like, yeah, definitely, let's go ahead. So I started listing for her, and I do everything. I do pictures, I do the listing, I do any repairs that need to be done, because I'm also a seamstress. I do measurements. I pretty much do everything.
So you do everything. Okay.
Yeah, as far as the listing goes. And then once that's done, I pick up all the items from her, and then once I'm done with everything, I return them to her. And she'll go through, she might change a couple of words in the title or whatever, and then she'll put, her price, and then make the listings live. But that has been just really invaluable to me, because not only do you see what they're selling on their show, but you can touch it, you can feel it, you can look at the tags, you can, learn the quality of the fabric.
Right.
It's really been a learning experience for me, which has helped me grow. But I just absolutely adore Katie and Vicky, and so I will probably always work for Vicky unless she doesn't want me to anymore.
Okay.
But because now it's like, I think that the two of us are on the same wavelength or the same level as
Gotcha.
far as reselling goes.
Okay.
But I just adore the two of them so much that I will always work for her.
Okay. We talk occasionally about attending conferences, and so you can learn more about the business and also network with other resellers. So you two posted quite a bit on your social media about your experience with speaking about Katie and Vicky with the Boss Reseller Remix. So why don't you share some of your stories with us and explain how attending that conference has helped you guys with your reselling businesses?
Okay, so well, last year I went to the Remix, but I went by myself. Angel didn't go that year.
Right.
And then I went again this year, and he joined me. And the Remix is also just completely, I mean, it's like recharging your batteries. Basically, you meet all of your friends who you've chatted with online or who you've
Right.
reached out to throughout the year, asking questions or whatever. And so we just had a ton of fun and met so many other resellers, as well as networked with a lot of different companies that were there to help
Okay.
support resellers, such as
Sure.
eBay, Mercari, List Perfectly,
Wholesale.
Reseller Genie. Who else was there?
Emmy from Wholesale.
Emma.
Emma from Wholesale. I think my dog. Sorry.
Our dog's name was Emmy.
Let me tell you, I got into the reseller business at the end of May.
Okay.
So from June to October was only 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing how many people were there and said, "Oh, you're Angel, you're the Low Life LV." I'm like,
there you go.
I said, "Who in the hell are you?" I mean, like, it was so awesome because it was like, that's how intertwined this reseller community is.
It is, yeah.
Especially here. And then having all these people that, I used to watch. Well, I started watching like on Whatnot and YouTube
Sure,
and all the other
sure.
stuff. I mean, like Danica, the Lady Luck Junk, and My 80 Baby, Laura. I mean, I just started meeting all these people online, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're going to the remix, blah blah blah. I can't wait to meet you guys." I'm like, okay. And then when we got there, it was like, "Oh my God, give me a hug!"
It was like he knew everybody.
You know everybody, right?
Like,
yeah.
I was
my God!
Wow, Angel has more friends than I do. I've been doing this for years.
Yeah, it was for a few months, right? You've been doing it for years, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, going to the remix is really invaluable. There's so many people that you get to meet in person, but there's so much to learn.
It's a brainstorm. I mean, it really is a brainstorm. But let me tell you, just from me being my first time there,
sure,
I talked to so many people, and I took they told me their stories. They told me how they got into it. They told me why they got into it.
right.
They told me what they were doing, and I just took bits and pieces from all these different people that were doing it, and I just kind of put it in my brain and go, okay, when I go back home and I'm ready to, once all this whole week-long show is over, I'm going to implement everything.
How can you apply what you've learned into your business?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to apply it.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you, between, like right now, I've been watching kind of the people that I talk to, Storage Auction Pirate, that guy,
right.
dude, that guy's insane. That guy's insane.
Yeah, he sure is.
Okay, so Rally Roots and Yesterday's Fits. I mean, a lot of these guys that were there, these people that were there, they just,
and now they know you in person on a first name basis. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to them.
And that's what's awesome. Like Wade, Wade is he's more of a
storage auction.
Yeah, Wade, I've hung out with Wade a couple times at eBay Open, and I've gambled. Gambling. I've gambled with him and his mom at
but other resellers too are great resources.
I flipped that. That couple right there, they're also like us. They're a husband and wife. I'd flip that. Greatest people in the world. I met some people from just so many different states, from the East Coast.
Right.
And I can't remember all their names, but it was like they shared their stories. For me, it was the biggest thing because, like I said, I gave up a pest control company because I have a full-time job. I work for the county, so I'm government. And I'll never leave that because, of course, I all the benefits that come with being a government worker. But I do this part-time. I love it. I have so much fun. And, what's his name? Britt.
Yeah. He's local here. You're talking about Britt?
Picking Peaches and Britt.
Jody and Britt.
Yeah, Jody and Britt.
Local resellers, okay.
Yeah, they're both local here.
Okay.
I would have never had so many people. Well, I should say I've never had so many people that were so passionate and excited about being a reseller the way I am, because I'm new. I just thought, you know, like, oh, okay, this is going to phase out. I'm going to get bored,
Yeah.
you know, blah, blah. But these people have been doing it for years, and they're still so
passionate about it, right? Driven about
it, you know, they're like, oh my God, you know, I bought this for $10 and I sold it for 150, you know, and I love that kind of stuff. It just makes me go like, I got to find the Holy Grail. I got to find, you know, I got to find some good stuff. You know, I got to be smart. It's so much fun to me. For me, it's not a full-time job. It's a part-time thing. But like I told her, I said, I am having so much fun. I mean, so much fun.
Yeah,
and then Katie and Vicky, let me tell you, those two girls, oh my God. I mean, I wish I would have gotten into this years ago with them, because these girls are so smart.
Yeah.
They're so passionate.
Their energy level seems like it's off the hook too, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And they love.
I attended. They had a suite. When I have a video on my channel where I actually live streamed their live stream.
Yeah.
From the I guess it was the Excalibur or the Luxor.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of energy.
What you see on social media is a lot of us like partying and having fun and all that at the Remix, but there's also so much to learn, not just from other resellers, but also the panels that they had up there, learning like how to promote your business, learning how to scale up your business or how to hire people for your business, just about the different platforms. I mean, there was so much to learn that they just pack into just a couple of days, which, like he said, it's just like blows your mind. But once you get home and you decompress and put it all out on paper, there's just so much that you can do to change your business and to level up. And the Remix sort of recharges your batteries, sort of gets you excited for the coming
I hear that
year.
all the time from other resellers that attend, not just the Remix, but, you know, eBay Open and Posh Fest and these things. They just said they come back like energized or passionate. They want to work harder and be more
excited
successful
again, and it's just sort of keeps you motivated for the following year. And then you already know, like, oh, the Remix is coming again. Like, I already see on Facebook, people are counting down the days already for the next Remix, and people are posting like, oh, I already booked my hotel at Golden Nugget. I'm like, wow, you guys are way ahead. But people are excited for it, you know. And then every year it's just something to look forward to, but also another learning opportunity for something you didn't know, or maybe a new platform that's coming out or something like that.
You know, that reseller Remix, for me being so new, this is my teacher, and me going to that Remix, I've changed the way I source, the way I buy, how I buy, and what I'm paying for, and what I'm paying for my product. And you know, we've collaborated together, and we sat there and we said, okay, I told her, this is my plan. What do you think? And we're kind of working together now, which is awesome, because we're a team. And we're doing things a little bit different, and it wouldn't have happened, or it wouldn't have clicked, or it wouldn't have been pushed that way if it wasn't for that reseller Remix. Honestly, I have to tell you, if you have
both of you highly recommend attending that if you have the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yes. For being me, the first timer going there, she's been there already twice. For me going there, I was just like, babe, we gotta do this. Babe, you know, we need to be smarter. We need to, you know, I was just like, my brain is always fast. My brain is so fast all the time, because I'm always marketing, business. And, you know, I have a goal. Well, we have a goal together, but I have a personal goal.
Sure, absolutely.
Of where, when I started my first month, of what I made on my sales versus today, because it's the end of the month, of where I'm at today, of where I want to be next October when we go to the Boss Seller Remix. And I want to be able to tell my story, not, you know, on stage, but I want to be able
but you want to share with other
resellers, other resellers, to say, hey, this is what I did based on me coming here last year, and this is where I'm at today.
Well, you can tell people that I learned to do this, yada yada yada. Absorb it and then try to apply what you can to your business, and just
Absolutely
learn as much as you can while you're here.
That's
It's just not a big party, which I mean, there's a lot of partying going on. But
Oh,
we
yeah, there's a lot.
yeah,
to
we
learn and
have
grow
a
your
lot of
business.
fun.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of partying and
Right.
just being silly and dressing up and just having fun because it's
but you're there to learn and to grow your business, basically.
Yeah, of course.
That's the networking, right?
But you can only
a lot of hangovers.
Well,
you can only absorb
fortunately,
so
I don't
much
drink anymore, so that's
information.
one good thing. So
No, Pat says how free can be good and bad when it comes to sourcing. Yeah, definitely. I mean, free is good, of course, because it's free, but
you can always redonate, right?
But like how much,
and then you take space, and
yeah, it takes space. Maybe
takes
you're not
time to
gonna
list
it.
right?
Maybe it's not even worth listing.
Store
and
it.
You gotta
Exactly.
figure out how to get rid of it.
Where are you out? Where are you out of, Darren Adams? I'm just curious. I like what you're saying.
Yeah, he's got some great comments, Darren. I really love your comments. We really appreciate you popping things in the chat. Pat said he dressed up so good that you didn't even recognize him. Okay.
Oh, were you there, Pat?
I was Batman.
He was incognito. He was Batman.
Yeah, we have I mean, I've always had a lot of fun dressing up. I like to cosplay and do all that sort of thing. He's never really been into it, but this year, I don't know what.
I blew it up.
Blew it up.
He just brought it out in him, and he's like, "Oh, this is fun."
You look very, very stylish. Very, 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 very good looking there over there, Mr. Angel. Very stylish.
It's funny. Yeah, we had a ton of fun.
Wait
so
till
much
next
fun.
year.
I
already got a plan in my head.
What
do?
Wait till next year.
Oh my gosh.
What did it? Is it October, September? When do they typically have the reselling mask?
It's in October.
October. Okay.
Yeah, around the same time. I think it's 1 week later this next year.
So y'all don't know, Picking Peaches. Jody. Oh my God, she blew up the Boss Reseller Remix. Honestly, she just had her outfits every time we went to a party.
Yeah,
Jody is just amazing. So I have to beat Jody this next year because she blew me out of the water.
You're gonna be sourcing for an outfit all year until
like. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Okay, want you to share whatever you would like to share. You want to share information about your YouTube channel, your Instagram, whatever your stores, whatever you want to share. Want you to share with our viewers right
now? Well, we do have a YouTube channel. It's growing slowly, but we don't.
We're not much into. We're not
trying to be YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. We enjoy it, so we just post when we feel like it.
I'm a seller. I believe in hard products. I believe if you buy something and you can sell it, you can make money. The YouTube thing, I mean, it's great, it's awesome, but yeah, for me, I believe in product. Buy a product, sell a product, make money.
Yeah, but we I think you did put our link tree down.
I did. I put your YouTube channel as well as your link tree. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, the link tree there in the description has our YouTube channel on there, but it also has our stores, all of our social media, like everything is there in the link tree. You can also subscribe to our link tree, so whenever we have new videos or whatever, it'll pop up. It'll pop up on there as well. What are you doing?
If you have any new resellers or people that are thinking about reselling, the only thing I can say from my experience is you got to have a good support group, because for me, I truly believe, honestly, because of Crystal, knowing Katie, knowing Vicky, knowing all the people that she knows, it has made it so much easier for me, and it's made it so much more fun for me. But if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna get into it, you're gonna make mistakes. I've bought wrong. I've overpaid on stuff, but once you kind of figure it out, it doesn't take long to figure it out. Right. But once you figure it out, it's really fun. It's actually really, really fun. It's satisfying because it's satisfying for you because you pay $5 for a shirt and you sell it for $25 and you're happy because you made money. That other person is also happy because they're getting something that they can't just go buy at Walmart or Target or some store. It's very unique and it's unique to them. To me, that feeling for me means a lot. It means a lot more than just going to Walmart and buying a t-shirt, honestly.
Absolutely. Okay. So guys, like I always say, if you're enjoying the channel, you're getting some value from it, please consider helping me offset some of the costs, buy me coffee, etc. in the description of the video. And I always say that time is your most valuable asset. So I'd like to thank Angel and Crystal for their time, and also those of you in the chat.
For having us.
Appreciate you
quite a bit, guys. It was very interesting, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to bring Angel and Crystal back on, maybe mid-year next year, and see how Angel's business is progressing. So.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Appreciate
we'd love it.
Thank
you.
you.
Love it. Okay, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Take care now.
Bye, everyone.